Hello everybody, this is Coburn C Capshaw / at Mr. Smiles a Lot. How you guys doing today? I'm back with another Let's Talk Media LLC video podcast with my buddy here, Brandon Kacar, and we are actually in his establishment, his family's restaurant, a second restaurant actually, Pandy Olive. If I'm correct, it's Mediterranean. At first I thought it was seafood, but if I'm correct, it's Mediterranean. So, you'd have like a different assortment of foods and things like that. And I saw like on Google, you had a lot of good check marks of like, good food, no contact, other things of that nature. Like, so you guys have really good reviews from what I've seen so far.
Been in business for a long time.
Yeah. So basically, in today's podcast, I know I usually end up having lists of subjects to talk about, but today we're going to just like freelance it, talk and say what's on the top of our head and just see how things go, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're going so let's see. So how long has your family, and I think we've talked about this before, but how long have they been in the restaurant business? So it's been a long time, right?
Yeah, it's been a really long time. Well, my family's been in the restaurant business for 25 plus years. Of course, I grew up in it,
Mm-hmm.
Here I am today. I started out with the first restaurant back in Frontenac, Parental, which I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with.
It's
a really nice area, nice upscale, fine dining atmosphere and stuff like that. And then we had a second restaurant in Kirkwood, which I'm pretty sure you guys knew about that too. We also had a third location in Chesterfield, but things went downhill due to some complications and stuff like that. So we just stuck with the two restaurants. But they were really good restaurant businesses and really good operations, good staff, good operations and stuff like that. Not saying this is any different. It feels the same because it's the same operation, the same business for me. It's still part of my life. It's part of my blood. So it's nothing new for me. But I respect it with everything, with 100% of my love and faith, for the whole business.
That's like me with the security business I'm with. I've been with them for 4 months now, by the way. That's the longest I've ever worked security.
Yeah, and that's really good. That you're making really good success, and you shouldn't give up. You should dig more into it. I'm pretty sure there's more things to it that could maybe impact your life in the future with whoever you're working with, whoever you're contracted with, because you never know. There could be a big life-changing experience with them that you're not going to regret. Every
now and then, and I know it's like way more dangerous than being security. Sometimes security is dangerous. You've heard some of my stories. Every now and then I wonder what it'd be like to be a police officer, because I remember like back when I was younger, I was thinking I've always wanted to do that, but then I ended up, not really knowing where to go in with my life, and then I ended up, falling in love with marketing and advertising and, being a social media influencer and business development manager and, martial arts coach on the side. So that's like my many passions, but like, I really respect the people that I work for. I really respect the store they work for, which is Deerberg's, and they all like me a lot. I will show up to work on time. I work diligently, do everything to the best of my ability, and I'm nice to everyone. Just because you're security does not mean you need to be an intimidating force, unless you need to bring it to the level if the other person is getting irate. And it doesn't matter if you're working at a grocery store, it doesn't matter if you're working at a bank, mall, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. You've been, all around different spots.
Well, I started out with a theme park. Let's say that theme park out in Eureka, Missouri, and then I moved up to Plaza Frontenac, right there in Frontenac, Missouri, and I've kind of been over places. And then there was a time that I was also down in the city at the school, Missouri, what was it called? I forget.
Missouri School for the Blind.
Yeah, Missouri School for the Blind. So, school for disabled kids, deaf, of hearing, or blind, or those with disabilities, And I appreciated being out there. I really liked it. I enjoyed it. I actually do miss it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. I actually do miss it. It was really fun. The overnights were the best for me. I was able to fit it in with my schedule. be able to take care of my family business and be able to do my, fun of a job too at night, because it was a fun thing to do. I'm kind of a night owl too, so I don't sleep that much, which sleeping is important. You should get 8 hours of sleep, to maintain a good, healthy life and maintain a good, active day, with a lot of energy. But I'm more of a night owl though,
Me too.
I'm not that really much of a sleeper unless it's been a really long, stressful day, or I just want to pass out, just right then and there. I'll just want to pass out, but on a normal basis, it's hard to fall asleep, because I just don't know. It just is. So I feel more like a night owl.
I remember, that's what you're really good at. You can fall asleep just like that, and I get jealous.
Yeah.
How does he do that? I wish I could. No, but I've actually gotten way better sleeping considering I have to get up at 8:30, to be at work by 10, because now I work from 10 to 6, which is actually great because I've been spending a lot more time with my wife. We've been getting along a lot better. We had a great date night, we've gotten really close emotionally,
That's good.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of glad in a way that I'm no longer working for them out there at the school, but at the same time, it was nice making some of that extra money too. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad I'm not doing it because then I got a little more open time. I could be with my family. I can spend time with my fiance and the kids. Go out to the park, have a nice, relaxing day with them, or go on a vacation or something. So it's kind of nice to actually, have my nights back.
Yeah.
Not having to do overnights and stuff. But at the same time, though, I do kind of miss making some of that extra money. But
I was used to the 2 to 10. Speaking of which, but the 10 to 6 was actually pretty nice because I could enjoy the sun all day long.
Yeah.
2 is nice, but 2 to 10 is nice, but when it gets dark, and sometimes it gets really cold, and so it's nice to be able to work in the sun and at the store. So what I do since I'm patrolling now, because schedules get crazy, obviously, and they move us around all the time. So now I'm at a fluorescent, which I really don't mind. It's actually it's a really nice area. So what I'll do is that I'll stand outside my car. I used to sit, but I'm like, that's not really efficient. So then I'll stand outside my car, watch the parking lot, look around, make sure everything's safe and everything like that. And then for 30 minutes, and then I'll get in my car, and then I'll go up and down the different, car aisles.
Yeah.
And then I'll do a lap around the whole entire building. And then I'll park at a different spot, or maybe the same spot if it's open, and then I'll do the same thing for 30 minutes, and then until the 2 to 10 person comes in, I'll walk inside, and then I'll stand by the front door for a little bit, and then I'll stand by the U-scan what the cashiers are, and then I'll do a round, and then maybe use the bathroom or get something to eat or drink, and then after I stand in the inside for I would say maybe 15-20 minutes because I'm trying to still keeping sort of within the time frame of that 30-minute because I realize that's really efficient for me. It makes me look more efficient. It makes me feel better at I'm doing better at my job. And so that because if you think about it, it's not that I couldn't spend an hour at my car, but what if something happens behind the store within 30 minutes or something, you know what I'm saying? But what I really like to do though is I love to stand outside, especially it's a beautiful day, so I can also help with traffic or help elderly people or bring their put their groceries in there, bring the carts back. I actually really respect the store because the workers will actually go outside with people who are disabled or elderly, and they will actually help them put their groceries in their car, and they'll bring the carts back, and I'm like, wow, that's really cool.
That is, So that's kind of like how I was in Frontenac too.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
It's all really based on customer service rather than intimidation.
Being forceful.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. And honestly, I feel good being the security officer. It's a very honorable job. I'm working, with law enforcement. I'm doing, and no offense to police officers, but I'm doing the job that police officers don't have time to do because they're dealing with like bigger crimes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because actually, Deerbergs used, or at least the Brentwood Deerbergs, they used to have the Brentwood police kind of be security and like hang out there or whatever.
Right.
But then my boss Kevin, he ended up creating the business that I work for. He's like really close with the county. He teaches the classes down at the St. Louis County like Academy down there around where the loop is. Off of that's not Dunn Avenue, is it Dunn? I can't remember.
The Academy?
Not Academy. The darn it. This is St. Louis County Police like training. Like training area facility where you go, like you take your classes to like when to be police officer, security, or whatever.
So yeah, it's gonna be the academy then.
Yeah, and that's where I also did my baton. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, now it's an armed position, right? That's an armed location. So you carry a firearm on you.
Well, the thing is that right now I don't, because when you're on patrol, because of the rules of like how my business they run the business, I'm not armed right now. But then the 2 to 10 person is. But like I said, it's just I'm not in any trouble or anything. It's just because like I said, they just move us around like constantly. So
policies.
Yeah. So I'm just hoping at some point I do go back to armed. But honestly, like. Let me put it this way, like I know I don't have a whole lot of clients, and I know I don't have a lot of followers or likes, not like some of my other friends, and that's why that one post I put like where said if you envy other people, I do sometimes,
Right, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good. But real quick, so like sometimes I do envy them, but then I also think about like in my post when I said no one else is going to do it, but you have to put the work in. And then like I said, what to say? Like there'll be haters, or there'll be people who blah blah, and they'll be either proving them wrong. So the thing is that's why I try to do as much content as I can. Like even if it's just another food for thought post, even if it's not a workout video, even if it's not a martial arts training video, because like I'm just trying to do as much as I can. But with a security job, when I'm up at 6, like it's not that, and I'm not trying to have any excuses, but I'm tired, man.
Right.
Especially from being in the sun all day long.
Yeah.
No matter how much water I drink, I'm still like, lethargic.
Yeah.
And it's hard to come up with marketing stuff when your brain is fried from, doing security for 8 hours every day.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not complaining. I love the job. If I didn't, I wouldn't. Oh, yeah. I love the job 100%. If I didn't, I wouldn't be with them, 4 months, like I said? But again, like, the point of what I'm saying is that, I'm just trying to do as much as I can, and hopefully, I'll get more clients. Hopefully, I'll get more people who do podcasts with me. Hopefully, I'll get more clients when it comes to training and martial arts, MMA, and movement, all that stuff. But I will say this: they do pay me very well at this security job. My wife and I, we are very comfortable right now because of how much we've been saving up and how much they are paying me. I'm not going to disclose that, because business-wise, you're not supposed to really say it, like legal reasons, things like that. But yeah, no, it's nice. The joke though, they say they don't pay me enough for this stuff or for this job. They definitely pay me enough for this job.
That's good.
Yeah, and like I said, that they respect me, I respect them. They like me, I like them. And it's not just because the paycheck wise sticking around. Like me, like I'm not going to work with people I don't like or don't want to work with.
Right. Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you said you came from Brentwood location. That's your primary location, or this one?
It was, and then then like again because of scheduling, and we were short-handed, but we're getting people hired again. So and then then I went to Mackenzie Point, and then they're like, hey, we need you to go to Force, and because of scheduling, I'm like, okay, cool.
So I've been meaning to ask you these days, because now that you're doing security finally, and that you're with a grocery retailer, there's a market down the street here on Manchester Avenue called Restaurant Depot. I don't know if a lot of you people are familiar with that place. Those of you that are in the restaurant business or that are professional kitchen operators, you would probably understand. There's a market called Restaurant Depot down the street in Manchester, right here around the corner by McCausland Avenue, maybe like 5 minutes on the road.
Wow.
So I know that you're doing security for a grocery retailer. Do you guys by chance maybe contract with the Restaurant Depot?
I don't know. That's actually a very good question, because usually the people who bring in our food and stuff are like, Krispy Kreme, Naked, Red Bull, like pretty much all brand stuff. I have not seen any trucks pull up. I'll see big trucks pull up, like, Bunny Bread or Wonder Bread, or like, pizza stuff, or,
Well, what triggered my mind a couple days ago? Maybe it was last week, I can't remember on the top of my head. So I was at Restaurant Depot one morning getting a couple of things for the restaurant, and as I was getting ready to leave, the security officer, he's not really private, or he's not even a private security, he was actually a St. Louis police officer.
Oh wow.
But he was on Restaurant Depot time.
Right.
He was in St. Louis police uniform, but working Restaurant Depot time, okay? So a lot of people, these are not your ordinary push carts. They're not. These are carts that you pull. Like, these are like flatbed carts. Let's say flatbed carts, because Restaurant Depot doesn't provide that kind of stuff you'll see at Schnucks or Walmart or Dearborn's or Shopping Center or whatever.
Right.
This is like big, what's a way to say it?
Hefty.
Like big boxes of products. Say that, because Restaurant Depot is like a professional retailer, grocery retailer for like restaurants and country clubs, commercial kitchens and stuff like that, right? So Restaurant Depot doesn't use ordinary push carts. They use flatbed carts. Okay, you pull them. No, these are really big carts. I can understand some people don't want to take it back up to the doors because they're big and they're hard to push or pull. So one day I was loading my car up, getting ready to come back to the restaurant, and as soon as I got done loading my car, I closed my trunk. The security or the police officer, the St. Louis police officer that was on Restaurant Depot time, he was slagging me down. "Excuse me, sir, like as if he was gonna detain me or something like that, He wasn't being nice either. He was being a total, what's the way to say it? Jarhead?
Yeah, definitely. I know what you mean.
Like he was trying to be intimidating on me.
Yeah.
Just for the cart. So he was like, "You bring the cart back up here. You don't leave it on the parking lot here. You're gonna make me waste my time coming out here, get your card and." Stuff like that, just give me an attitude about that stuff. And then,
for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason. And I wanted to say to him, but I didn't want to be mean about it, so I respected his wish, his request about, I respected it. So I took it back up to him, gave it to him, I didn't say nothing to him. But in the back of my head, I wanted to say, well, aren't you on Restaurant Depot time? Isn't that part of your job to come out and collect the cards, help the customers, show some respect to the company too, So I remember you said something about this a while back.
Yeah, so I do that sometimes, but sometimes the Dearborn's that I usually go to or I work at, they don't mind. But sometimes I heard that sometimes at the one of the other locations, they will get upset if you try to help because it's supposed to be the worker's job because it's the union thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I still do it to be nice.
Yeah. And again, it's all based on customer service.
Yeah. Plus it's a nice workout. So those smart carts, those electric carts, they break. I'm sorry, but we need new ones.
Are they breaking down?
They break down. They're never ever fully charged because people use them so much. Because just elderly people, disabled people. Whatever, it happens.
Right.
But so the thing is that I think it was. I can't remember. I was saying this to my wife tonight at dinner. I can't remember if it was today. I did two. I pulled in 2 smart carts, and then an extra, and then if it was today, and then it was 1 yesterday, or if it was 1 yesterday, then 2 today. But yeah, so basically, there's the the seat, all and everything, with the cage in the front. So the way that I do it is that I put my fingers in the cage and then I hold it up like this while walking backwards from the parking lot to all the way inside to where you have to charge them. So I'm literally walking backwards and deadlifting a smart cart the whole way in.
Oh yeah, because those carts are pretty heavy.
Yeah, so like I'm not trying to brag, but like being on like my feet and doing all this and everything, like this job's keeping me in shape.
Right,
Like
that's good.
yeah, and I mean I'm definitely still very strong if I can do that, especially like 3 days in a row and not be hurt or injured.
Well, you should be fit for this kind of work too. Anyways, for any reason you have to get physical or you have to use an excessive force of some kind to resisting.
Well,
something like that.
That's why I have the upper hand because of how I'm a master of my martial art, as you know. It's like Jeet Kune Do, but it's not really. You know what I'm saying? Like it took me. Anyway, but point of what I'm saying is that like when it comes to hand-to-hand situations, I know what to do. And let's be honest, and like no offense, but a lot of other security officers or even some police officers, they don't know how to handle empty-hand situations, and that's why they end up getting hurt. Like I've seen security officers and cops get messed up by like someone just even just one punch, like. So what I'm saying is that you're right. Definitely. But so I'm sorry. What were you saying? I got tracked.
I can't remember now.
Something about
the cart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I like to go on runs. That's why I like to still do boxing. And like I know I haven't been back to my personal trainer in a while, but the thing is I've gotten so used to waking up at like 8 or 8:30, which is usually like when we start our workout, which is at 8 or 8:30. It's been hard for me to go, so it's not that I don't want to go to him, but I feel like it'd be better for me. I know I do have a Peloton at home, obviously, but I think it'd be better for me to just join like a regular gym, so especially one that is open maybe 24 hours. So then that way I can just go work out whenever I want to. Right. Because even after my shift, like as far as how lethargic I am, sometimes I'm like, man, I really want to work out, and like I do miss running on a treadmill. I do miss lifting weights and doing a little bit of CrossFit. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, the Peloton is great. And I also love it that they have the personal trainers. You can do yoga. You can do their HIIT workout, which HIIT, which is high intensity interval training, basically CrossFit. And I can smack my bag around. I can run, do whatever I want. But one of the things that like being part of a regular gym would be nice. And no offense to my CrossFit gym, but you need to have an appointment. Or you need to have a personal trainer with you, or there needs to be a personal trainer there. Gotcha. So you can't just go whenever you want.
That's kind of messed up.
No, it's okay. I get it. I mean, it's just a CrossFit gym.
It makes sense, but
I get the policy. It is a little weird, but I do respect it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no. So I don't know. My wife and I might join Lifetime because they've got like a pool, spa. Hot tub, steam room. Is basically like a spa with a gym. And I'm sorry, but nothing feels better and honestly what is really good for your body is getting in a hot tub after you work out because it helps release the lactic acid in your body, helps with your soreness and your muscle tightness and everything like that. Yeah, so that way you're not as sore whenever you go home. Yeah. But anyway, sorry, I'm just rambling on now. Let's see. So, any news with, I guess, I don't know, your family, your sister, anything like that?
Not really. I mean, no, not really.
No? Just doing the thing, running the business too?
Yeah.
So, does your whole family work here?
Pretty much the entire family does, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So, it's me, my sister in the kitchen, and then my 2 cousins are up front in the dining room. My uncle's in the dining room. My father stays in the kitchen too sometimes with us if we need it. And then we got a couple other guys in the back too, but I'm kind of like in the transition of running the whole business, putting it into my own hands and taking on the responsibilities, of what's the way to say it. I'm so sorry, my brain is fried from today.
Yeah, I know, that's what I say,
no, I'm kind of like in the transition of learning the aspects of running the business, say that. Let's put it that way.
Right.
So I do the nightly inventory. I stay overnight to sometimes clean coolers out or reorganize things in the kitchen, or just go over what I need to get done for the next day, so that way I don't have to waste the time when I come in and look and see what I need here or there, what I need to do for this, what I need to do for that and stuff. Like tomorrow's not gonna be a big issue because tomorrow's Saturday, so I kind of have a whole day to figure out what I'm gonna get done here when I come in or whatever. But like if it's a normal weekday, like let's say a Tuesday or Wednesday, something like that, that's a killer for me. It is,
right.
Especially when you're working that entire day. It's a killer.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no problem with it because I'm used to it, so it's completely normal for me. But like for those of you that are like new into this kind of business and stuff like that, it is kind of a challenging experience, and you get used to it, but you learn from it too. You actually learn some good things out of this kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I like to do the inventory at night. I like to move things around at nighttime after we close, so that way I don't have to waste my time in the morning when I come in and get done what I could have done the previous night, or to save time. It's really all based on time management.
Yeah, it also really makes you respect other people who have manual labor jobs when you go to their establishment. Like, when I was a stock boy, cleanup guy at my mom's law firm for those so many years on and off, I respect people who do that for a living. When I worked at Mike Shannon's before it shut down, I respect everyone who works in the restaurant business. I'm never mean or have any ill will towards my waiter or waitress. I'm always like, thank you, yes ma'am, no ma'am. Anytime they bring anything, even if it's just plates for extra sharing, I say thank you. Because I know I'm not in the restaurant business anymore, but trust me, dude. Like, I know how hard it is. Good God, and and again, like, I'm not saying one restaurant is better than the other, but for a fact that Mike Shannon's was a 5-star steak and seafood restaurant. Oh my God, that thing I'm missing. Whoo, man, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Like, all restaurants are not any different from each other. It's just based on its operations. They all have their own way of operating their businesses.
And let's be honest, if all food tasted the same, it would get bland after a while. Yeah. But I think it is crazy though how you get like a burger at one spot, it'll taste totally different, and you get a burger at a different spot, even if it's just like the exact same thing, it tastes totally different. It's like, man, it's just all how they make it.
Well, it's not all based on how they cook it, but it's all based on how they prep it too.
Yeah, and season and saute and depending on if they put butter on it too, or
Like, for example, I used to get lunch at Hagia Sophia all the time. It was a good restaurant. It was actually one of my favorite restaurants. Of being away from my own restaurant. Hagia Sophia was one of my other favorite restaurants that I like to go to. Not only that, because I know the owners too. My family knows the owners for a long time. They're good friends, and then they have really good food too. I like their Turkish kofta meatballs. They're really good. They got really good seasoning, but they're not gonna say what they use. It's a chef's secret. They're not gonna let the secret out. Just like here, I have a special seasoning that I like to put on my koftas. I'm not gonna blur that out either. I don't want people knowing my secret, how I make this stuff good.
It's like a magician.
Or like on some nights, I make a pasta dish. It's a seafood linguine. It's one of our best pastas we have. It's a really good top seller for whoever dines in with us. I would suggest ordering seafood linguine. It's the best ever, and made by one of our best cooks too. So some of our employees, they like to order food at nighttime because they're tired, they work hard, and they just want to
decompress.
Yeah. So sometimes we'll order seafood linguine because that is a pretty it's not. It's a big dish, yes, but it's like it's a filling. Let's say that it'll fill you up. It'll fill you up, and not only that, but the flavor too in it is it's beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of these employees, they out of all the things they'll want to order is our seafood linguine. It's one of the best sellers. And what was I gonna say about it? I forgot. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, no, I understand, man.
So, the seafood linguine is a really top seller. People love it. That's like one of our best dishes we have, aside from the grilled salmon too.
Sure. Yeah, running a business isn't easy. So the thing is that like I said, I'm not some big, huge, major marketer. I mean, I'm not famous by any means, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna keep going until I am. No, but still, even thinking of things to come up with on when I make an advice video, that's hard. Even when I'm hitting on the bag, I know what I'm doing. Thinking about not trying to say, oh, I'm trying to what will look good for camera, but it's will this move from what I know blah 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 whatever work and look good, and for if I'm doing a workout video, I want to make sure my reps look good. I want to make sure I look like I know what I'm doing, so people get inspired. And then when I do my movie and video game reviews, hope I make sure that's hard to even come up with how to talk about it, or how I like to talk about the movie, and then I reverse it into an advice video from a lesson that I learned from the movie. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm and then my food for thought, sometimes it's hard to even come up with those.
Right.
So let me put it this way, I want the editing, man, dude, this video, editing it is probably going to take a couple hours. Right. You know what I'm saying? I probably won't get it done. I'll get it done, but God only knows how long it's going to take. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Even my little 5-minute advice videos that I do, those can take an hour or two to even just,
Right.
But I'm willing to put in the work, just like I'm willing to put in the work for security. You know what I mean? Obviously. What was I going to say? Yeah, I'm pretty tired too. Well, there's what is your what was your favorite thing about security, and then what's your favorite thing about working in the restaurant?
Favorite thing about security? Overnights.
Yeah.
Overnights, because like I said before, I'm a night owl. My instincts kick in at best at nighttime. What's a good example of one? I told you about this actually. One night I was walking after I left the restaurant, and I was outside walking around, and out of nowhere I had an instinct in the back of my head. Someone was approaching me. I turned around quickly. The guy was in he was riding a bike. He was coming up fast, but not too fast, at a good moderate speed. It was a perfect moment that my instinct had kicked in too. And I had turned around fast, and I saw this guy just riding his bike up to me. Asked me if I can't remember. He asked me something. I can't remember what it was though, but I think he asked me if I had cigarettes or something. I can't remember. I can't remember what it was. It was something like that.
Yeah.
I said no, I'm sorry, and then I just went by my way. And then I looked back again. He was riding his bike in circles and stuff, but
that's weird. In the same spot. Well, at least he didn't follow you.
Yeah, in the same spot, I want to say. It was down by the light at the intersection down here.
Gotcha, yeah.
Man. Right before you pull on to Manchester.
That's strange.
Yeah. So, but my instincts were best at nighttime.
Yeah.
And this was at nighttime, maybe 11:36 or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's about when my instincts start to kick in. Yeah, my favorite thing about it all is being an overnight person, being a night owl.
Yeah.
And then being in the restaurant, you create new dishes every single day. You come up with different ideas and build leadership. I get to taste different foods every day. I don't know. That's pretty much what I do.
Yeah. For me, I would say like the security. Definitely like whenever people say thank you for your service, or like the manager just say hey thanks for your help, or like thanks for walking around, and or like whenever they're in a conversation they look serious, they'll stand there and they make everything okay. They say thanks for checking in, making sure everything's okay. Like those things. That's the stuff that keeps you going. When you're respected, and being security is a very honorable job, and it's nice that I'm an essential worker. Like with COVID and how crazy things are, and how crazy people have become. Like people need security these days.
Yeah.
They really do.
You know what? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
I want to take back what I said, and I told you about this actually, about what happened one night at Galleria.
Oh yeah.
When I was doing public safety security with them, it was a Saturday night. What was I doing? I can't remember. Galleria on the weekends has a thing called PGR. It's called Parental Guidance or Restrictions.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You're 16 and under. You have to have a parent, guardian, 21 over with you to walk inside the mall and stuff like that, right? So it was a Saturday night. It was way after 3 o'clock is that starting time that PGR is in effect. It was like maybe around 7 o'clock in the evening. So I think I was outside in the vehicle. I don't remember. Maybe I was on the bike. But I know I was outside for sure.
Is that a bus?
No, that was a truck that just went by.
Ooh, dang, that's a big old truck, yeah.
You think that's loud? I can hear that from the kitchen sometimes.
Oh,
even from the bathroom.
Yeah.
That's how loud they are. No, I think I was in the vehicle that night. I was in the vehicle. Then a call came over through the radio about a possible armed subject inside the shopping center premises. So the last known location was through the main entrance by Cheesecake Factory, and then he went down into the food court. Now, when that call came through, I was like by Dillard's. Why did I say Dearborn? Because you're in Brentwood too, and Galleria's in Brentwood too.
Yeah.
And I remember that conversation you and I had one night. What if I kick someone out from Galleria and they were to come to your store?
Yeah.
And you kick someone out from your store and they were to come to Galleria.
No, I guess, yeah.
That's probably what hit in my head why I said Dearborn's. No. So I was like around the Dillard's area when that call came through the radio. They called for an available officer, dispatched to an available officer there near Cheesecake Factory area, which of course I was the closest one, so I hopped on the radio. Go ahead, dispatch. Can I have you respond to Cheesecake Factory area for possible 1032 armed subject? Take caution, it's a black male, and this and that, whatever. So I confirmed the call on the radio to find her out. I pull up by the doors. I call dispatch. I'm in the area. They say he's gone inside. He's on the food court. So I confirm that. I get out, go down inside. I call for a description. They call the description out what it is. So I'm looking, I'm looking around, and then of course I peek down. Because I'm on the escalator. As I'm on the escalator going down, I see around the corner, I see a gentleman filling that description that dispatcher called out.
Yeah.
And he was not facing me, he was facing the other way.
Oh.
So what I did was I did a sneak up on them, and I did like a rear arm wrist lock on them. And advised them, don't move or it's going to be the worst night for you.
Yeah.
I didn't say that, but I was thinking that in my head.
Right.
So I snuck up on them. I put on my rear wrist lock, rear arm wrist lock. Located the gun in this, front hip area. PD was there too, of course, on scene. But that was an interesting night for me, though.
Yeah, that was like the time I told you when I got a hold of the guy and ripped the backpack off of him. He got away, but we got our stuff back. Everyone went home safe. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
As
long as we get that firearm off it, out of his possession, then then we can call the scene safe.
Yeah, like you said, description is very important. I've been only doing this for 4 months, but I mean, I've gotten pretty good at it. Like,
Yeah.
I can just look at someone and be like, all right, he's about 5'8", probably 150, you know, and then like I can remember details like what their hair color was, what they're wearing. I mean, like, I'm not trying to brag, but I mean, like, you know, that's the important stuff. You need to put that in there. But you know, if nothing happens, and I literally say, I put it the military time, you know, 1000 or 10,000 or to 1000 to 1800 a.m. p.m. and then I'll say nothing of significance or out of the ordinary happened today/tonight. Today/tonight went very smoothly. End of report. Or I'll like, you know, give her, you know, send a report of like something that might have actually happened. You know, it's funny because a few times my supervisor, he said to me, he was like, hey, can you clean this up a bit? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And one time he was like, you've never really done reports before. I was like, yeah. And he was like, we don't need a whole story. We just need the pure facts. I'm like, okay, gotcha. So I've even gotten better, like shortening things up, you know, and like sticking to the pure facts. Sometimes they might be a little bit extended, but that's just because I'm trying to get as much detail in there as I can. But you know, I'm just trying to keep it short and sweet and not have like a, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, that's also makes me feel good and like honorable knowing that like, you know, I'm doing something that, you know, it's even if like nothing happened, I still have to say something to him, just for you know, so they can have a log of daily things or whatever, because you never know, right? So yeah, yeah, like I think that you like a lot of times, like, you know, sometimes I'm like, man, am I doing enough? Do I really have life figured out? Should I be proud of myself? Am I really working hard enough? Am I like being the best that I can be? But the thing is that the fact that you and I like have made it as far as we have, before I'm turning 30 this month, which is insane. Before as young as we still are, you know, you and I, we've made it pretty far, and you know, we should be proud of ourselves. Like, well, I'm not saying that to like make us sound like jerks, not like we're bragging, like, oh, look at us, we're all, you know, but like doing what we do isn't easy. You know, security isn't easy. You and I both know that running a restaurant business isn't easy. You know, this marketing stuff, all this editing and all that, it wasn't easy, you know, but I learned the craft, and, you know, it took me 4 years to, you know, with my investor, when he taught me everything from business and marketing and all that, but then I taught myself all this stuff, you know, like a year later, so I've been at this, like, for a while, you know, with anything, like, I know we've been talking about it, but, like, you gotta put that work in.
Right.
You know, if you don't, then, you know, because the last thing I want to do, you know, is be an adult later on in life that doesn't know what they want, because there be no worse feeling than that. That wouldn't be fun.
Right. No.
You know, I mean, shoot, you know, if maybe someone in Hollywood like sees one of my videos and picks it up and calls me and says, hey, we'd like what you have to offer. We like your look. You know, we like whatever you do.
Yeah.
Like, you want to have like a commercial deal, TV deal, like you want to be on a show, movie, blah blah. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't give security up completely, but I would have to call my supervisor and be like, I'm gonna go, and my boss be like, I'm going to Hollywood for a while, or California, baby. No, but anyway, but you know what I'm saying. Or like, if let's say I do end up blowing up with being a martial arts instructor, or blowing up with, you know, this marketing thing. I'm not saying that I wouldn't do security, but like, let's say I get things really get rolling for me, I'm gonna focus on that a little bit more, obviously. Right. You know, but you know, like I said, like it's nice knowing that my life has been leading to a good spot, because again, I'm not bragging, but I've worked hard, man, and I've been working really hard. Like, and you know, I'm glad that, like I said, I figured things out for only being almost 30. You know, right. And when I say things figured out, I don't mean 100%, because, you know, there are adults that are still trying to figure out life, and they're like, you know, they don't know like what they're doing. Like, dude, like, why do you think like there are rich people out there who are miserable because they're like, I have all this money, but I'm not happy because I'm still figuring out life, or maybe they're not doing like what they wanted to do or follow their heart. Right. You know, so that's why, like, I don't know, I want to be security officer as long as I can while doing other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows? How cool would it be if, like, in Hollywood, let's say I don't, like, how cool would it be, like, let's say that I end up becoming security for the studio that I do, like, TV shows or whatever for. So let's say that, like, season 1 is over of some TV show I'm on, but then on the side I would work security for, like, the other stars, like, at the studio.
Right.
Like, that'd still be pretty good money as well. That'd be kind of cool. Like, can you imagine it? That'd be awesome. But, yeah, so, yeah, no, just, that's all a dream.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I mean, I feel like, I know you love security, but I feel like this is really good for you, and until you do feel like you want to put your heart into security as well, I would stick with this, and I wouldn't quit it, you know.
Right.
I mean,
for sure.
Yeah, definitely, because a lot of people give up on things too soon, too easily, or give up on the dreams, or give up on, like, what they're passionate about. Like, I know you're passionate about security, but a part of me, now, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like a part of me feels like you're more passionate about the restaurant business. I don't know why, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But, you know, like, I just kind of see that knowing you, you know?
I mean, it's just like that. Sometimes in my head, I feel I'm passionate about both.
Yeah, of course.
You know, because it's who I am, it's what I am.
Mm-hmm. You know, and that's the thing is that, so as you know, my dad was a Green Beret in the Vietnam War. Got from low dementia from Agent Orange, you know, he basically got Alzheimer's, you know, passed away when he was 55, when my sophomore year of high school. And I know I never served in the military, but in a way I feel like me being a security officer is paying a tribute to who he was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, especially when I hear people say thank you for, you know, protecting us, thank you for doing what you do. Like, I don't never serve, but it makes me feel good when people say thank you for serving, and I'm like, or like, you know, they just mean serving as in serving us to protect us as a security officer, and I'm like, well, you're welcome, you know, like, so, and it definitely in a way, I would say that me being a security officer is like a tribute to my dad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, shoot. I'm not trying to cry on camera. I'm just kidding. But anyway, so point is that it's not that I never really didn't see myself being a security officer, but I'm like, you know what? Law enforcement would be fun. I don't know exactly if I'm cut out to be a police officer, but I would like to do something that I know pays well, has good scheduling, you know, I'll be respected, and, you know, I'll see something new and different every day, which I do. You know, and that's the thing, that's the fun about, you know, being security, especially at the grocery store. You see some, you know, there are some bad times, but you see some really crazy funny times, too. Yeah. Oh, man. You know, maybe later on I'll tell you about. Okay, so I'll just tell you about it now. I'm not trying to be mean by saying this, but there was a homeless man, and he had very just raggedy clothes. I mean, I'm talking like a ripped up hoodie, shirt. He had sweatpants on that were falling off of him, and they were like all ripped up on the bottom. He had just old nasty shoes, and he had an old blue Razor scooter. Yeah, like it. And so he wasn't doing anything wrong, okay, at all. And then, so he ended up also having this giant thing of orange juice, and he was just sitting on the stairs of where the GNC is and where the nail shop is or whatever, because we have stores that are attached. So that Deerbergs, they own all of the stores, but I only protect that Deerbergs. I don't, you know, patrol the GNC. I don't patrol the Five Guys. I don't patrol the investors title, none of that. I just mainly focus on the store, even knowing that a lot of times I'll like end up parking like in their area, you know, to look around because of the fact that everything's connected. But, you know, like I don't protect the T-Mobile. I don't, whatever. Anyway, it was the Clarkson. I care that it's the Clarkson. Point is that so, you know, I couldn't do anything, you know, whatever. But he would walk in every now and then and go use the bathroom, whatever, and like not trying to be mean, but this guy. His BO, wow. Yeah. At one point, I was walking up to one of the managers, and I said, hey, do you want me to, you know, get this guy here to see if he's doing anything? And then one of the managers actually came up and said, oh, you mean Stinky over there? I'm like, oh, that was it was hilarious though. So anyway, so they're like, as long as it's not being a nuisance, and no, we're good. I'm like, okay, cool. And like, I'm not trying to be mean, but at one point, he was walking in front of me, and on the back of his pants, I saw 2 brown dots.
Oh no!
Like they were, yeah, and they looked kind of fresh, like kind of wet and glistening a little bit still. And I'm like, I think that's why he probably went to the bathroom. He might have gone to the bathroom, and he was probably trying to clean himself up.
Yeah.
I felt really bad for the guy. I'm not making fun of him. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's just like that's the kind of stuff you see, with being a security officer, But at some point, at the end of the day, or towards the end of my day, I saw that there were either paramedics or firefighters there talking to him outside of the Five Guys.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I'm thinking, or my guess, because there is a hygiene or like smell or like ordinance law or something like that, if I'm correct, of if you stink too much. My guess is, again, not being mean, not making fun of this guy, I promise you, I feel like he might have maybe stunk so bad, and the Five Guys, that he was disturbing the other customers, and they were like, hey, we need to call the fire department or EMTs or whoever that was there, because it's like, his hygiene was like, I think it was like a medical issue. Yeah. Like I don't know, like he was like toxic smelling, like I think like that's like contamination of like whatever, this guy looks like he's had those clothes on for years and like never changed them. And again, not being mean, okay, I'm not making fun of the guy, it's just like whoa, I felt bad for him, I really did, especially when considering like Five Guys had to call the paramedics on him for whatever reason, or firefighters, whoever, what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was weird. It's like, oh, poor guy.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes though you kind of think, well, if they keep bleeding, their life to be that way. If they're like a drug addict or an alcoholic, again, not judging, not being mean, not speaking ill will of them, but it makes you wonder if how much can you or should you feel sorry for them if they can continue to do it, and they are continuing to do it and leaving their life to be that way. Again, I still feel sorry for them, but it's like, you're still doing it though, like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Again, I'm not trying to be mean by saying that, I swear, like.
Right.
But,
I get it.
Yeah, anyway. Man, like, we've been talking about security and restaurant stuff a lot. What else should we talk about?
I'm not sure.
But, like, at least we're, having a good conversation about, what we're talking about. It's not like it's getting boring, and the good thing is that we're actually talking about different things, not just like the same thing. Well, we might repeat it a little bit, but I mean, that's going to happen. I'm trying to think of what else we could talk about. I finally saw Avengers Endgame. That movie was really awesome.
Really?
Yeah, man, I can see why I wish I would have seen it at the premiere of, like, when in the theater, because on the big, like, huge part, I would have, like, loved to feel the eruption of the, like, everyone doing that when he goes, assemble, after the Captain America gets the hammer back. I'm like, oh, that was so, anyway. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any good movies coming out lately, or if I've seen any good ones. I don't know.
So there's a movie called Maximum Overdrive in Trucks. Have you heard of them?
No, I think so.
By Stephen King?
Yeah.
Okay, take note, guys. This is a movie, Maximum Overdrive in Trucks, is a movie about trucks that come, not just only trucks, but also like all kinds of machines that start to develop their own minds and go on a murderous rampage and stuff like that. So now Maximum Overdrive, the story behind all that is because the Earth passed through a tail of a comet. I can't remember what kind exactly, but they passed through the tail of a comet, I guess, and they were stuck in there for like 7 days or something. So that was an effect for the machines to come to life. Now, in this other movie called Trucks, made in 1998 by Stephen King.
So the trucks come to life.
Yeah, they come to life. But only the trucks do. And now, the reason for that, the story behind that is because there was a tanker truck that was carrying a lot of chemicals, and apparently, I guess the truck lost control and crashed into like an electric pole,
and then like made it come to life somehow.
Yeah, and
that's weird.
The truck blew up, the chemicals in the tanker and stuff, and I guess that was an effect. You know, that was like a side effect or something.
And this is a movie.
And that caused all the trucks to come to life.
Was it more funny, to be honest, like, than scary? Just like, I mean, come on, like, come on. I'm sorry, I'm just imagining this a scene where someone's like walking or whatever down the street, and then there's a dark alleyway, and then like you see the giant headlights, and then and then they get run over. Did that happen? Oh my gosh!
It is so funny though, because in the movie Trucks, there's one scene. A toy truck.
No.
A toy truck.
No.
Murders a mailman.
I have to see
How
this.
does that happen? It goes beyond me.
Was this a book made into a movie? Because, Stephen King's a writer.
Yeah,
so.
Stephen King wrote a book called Trucks, and that's what it's based on. And then later he made a movie called Maximum Overdrive based on that book. And then a couple years later, it was a different director, but again, based on Stephen King's Trucks and Maximum Overdrive. Both a different story though.
So, but basically all the trucks in Maximum Overdrive come to life, and that's okay. I have to see this. Like,
so now, my point where I'm getting at.
Yeah.
A couple of days ago, there was a chemical plant explosion in Afton. I feel bad bad about this because of the workers working there, but at the same time, it hit my mind because I was actually watching the movie Trucks when I found out about that too. No joke. I was literally watching the movie on my phone, and then I heard one of the servers talking with the bussers or the bartender, I can't remember, but she was in Afton, and she was talking about a chemical plant explosion because it was near her house in Afton, so I guess they closed off school or something like that.
Yeah.
So she couldn't pick up her daughter from school. I don't know, it was something like that. So she was talking about it, and at the same time I was watching my movie. I was watching the movie Trucks.
Like, whoa, what?
And then when I heard about that, it hit my mind, I had to ask. I just had to be funny about it and ask. So does that mean trucks are going to come to life then? I had to be funny about it.
And they're like, huh? That's hilarious.
Yeah, they didn't know about it, so I told them about it, and I showed them a few scenes from it, and it was too funny.
That's
the
hilarious.
way they reacted.
Man, well, I'm trying to think if there's anything that we could talk about, but it's 5 minutes till midnight. It's getting late. I mean, I'm still pretty awake, but I also wouldn't mind getting home because I know I'm off work tomorrow, but I'm getting lunch with my mom and my wife tomorrow because it's, I know Mother's Day Sunday, but I work Sunday, so I think we had a really good podcast. Like, I think it was very interactive. I really liked how we were back and forth and never really got dull. I know we got tired a few times, like, what was I saying or what?
Yeah, I hope you guys didn't see me yawning. I was trying to cover the whole entire time.
Hey, we're all human, man. We get tired, But hey, man, appreciate you. Yeah. I love you. Oh, question. Executive Chef 314, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm thinking about changing it though to where I can put it together with security too.
Security chef? I don't know. I'll help you come up with that. All right, man. Well, anyway, thank you for doing this video podcast with me. Yeah. You're awesome.
It was my pleasure. Don't forget, guys, Trucks.
Trucks. You got to see the movie. No, anyway, appreciate everybody who listens in or watches, whatever. I love you all. Love this guy here. He's one of my best friends for many years now. Anyway, this has been Coburn C. Capshaw / Mr. Smiles a Lot and Brandon Kacar, and for the time being right now at Executive Chef 314. This has been a Let's Talk Media LLC video podcast. And remember, if you need a marketer, advertiser in St. Louis, if you need someone to take pictures for you, record you doing what you love doing, if you want to do a podcast with me, or a video podcast, let me know. If you need a martial arts MMA movement coach, let me know as well. And I love you all, and I'll see you guys next time.